lovely to be here. So I've been doing this about Easter 2007 was the first time I ever went to a poetry open mic, and that was in London. So is that almost 6 years, right? 2007?
Yeah.
13. Yeah, I got an E for GCSE, imagine that. So yeah, it's been good. I used to, as Deanna mentioned, I used to MC. I lived in Brighton for 2 years. I did hip hop and drum and bass and all that stuff, and I almost kind of fell into this by accident. And then about 4 years ago, I started doing theatre as well, which is great. I've had a really good time. I've done that for quite a while now, and I'm kind of still doing a bit of everything really. And this is going somewhere, trust me. Like, yeah, so I've been doing that for about 4 years, and I don't know, I can't even remember the links. That's right, no, that's right. So I've been doing that for about 4 years. I've said that 3 times now, but it's alright, don't worry. Yeah, and like, so I always worked full time. So from the age of 17, I left college at 17, and I've always had a full-time job. So everything I ever did, whether it was music or latterly poetry, and then even later theatre, was always a part-time thing for me, until I got to a point where I was really busy and a couple of doors opened for me, and I got lucky and I met some really good people, including some of the guys you've seen tonight, and I decided to quit my job and pursue the dream, right? As you do, yeah? And like, nicely enough, the day that I did that was 31st of July 2010, which was also the very first Come Rhyme With Me event in London, because I performed there, right? Yeah, it's a nice little link there. Yeah, it was great, and it's been good since then. Like, I've been pursuing the dream, loving it, living it, and I'm skint. Of course I am. Like, but it's great, and I moved because, like as Deanna mentioned, I'm from Hawley originally, and I've been kind of in and out of London for like 6-7 years really. And I did that, and you may well be wondering if I am skint, why have I got a pair of Nike Air Max on? They are the best part of £100, aren't they, Paul? And I bought these in size in Brighton about a year ago. And you're right, but listen, yeah, we're not here to talk about my priorities. We're here to talk about my pain. Right? That's what I do. So this leads me nicely into my first piece. So when I quit my job, I decided, as well as doing this stuff, like the theatre and the music and the poetry, I also really wanted to work with young people. A lot of people in this kind of world do that, they supplement it, but actually I really like it. I'm interested in people in general and society. I've started doing that, and it's great. Sometimes I go into schools. I work as a freelancer for a theatre, Battersea Arts Centre in Clapham Junction. I work with their young people. Yeah, it's great. I love young people. I find them interesting. And quite often, so I get asked to go into a school, or occasionally like a big youth event, and I'll get asked to perform. Which is, I love performing, this is what I do, right? And, but every now and again, like, and this has happened a couple of times, literally minutes before I go on to perform, in quite often either a packed assembly full of kids, or a big theatre full of like 100, sometimes 200, 300, 400 kids, like teenagers, they'll be like, oh, can you do something really, really inspirational? That's just great, isn't it? They'll be like, do something really inspiring. They're young people, you know, like they've got all sorts of problems and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, okay, like, you don't really know me, right? If you wanted me to go on and do a poem about low self-esteem, Catholic guilt, doner kebabs, I'm your man, yeah? I've got that all day, right? So like, anyway, so about a year ago, or over a year ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to have a little crack at this, because I like doing this stuff, and it's not really, so this first poem is not necessarily about inspiring anyone else. It just made me think about school, and it made me think about what school was like for me and a lot of my friends. So I came up with this piece, and this is actually something that really resonated for me a lot later on in life. In fact, every area of life I've been in, every job I've ever had. And this is a piece called Whoever Said It Was Easy, and it goes like this. Getting out of bed on time. Eating breakfast if you're lucky. Jump in the shower, brush your teeth, pack your bag. Look in the mirror, do your hair, check for spots. Open the door, say goodbye, wrap up warm uniform and bop to the bus stop all the while looking cool, that's hard. Doing that 5 days a week is hard. Getting on the bus and being cussed because your team lost the night before. Or the trainers that you're wearing represent what your mum and dad can't afford. Or your jumper shirt and trousers are what your older brother was wearing the year before. Or there's a girl sitting 2 seats behind you that you fancied for 2 years, and you know that she has her hair in a bun on Mondays and Wednesdays, wears eyeshadow on a Friday and doesn't get the bus home because of drama class, and she doesn't even know your name? That's hard. Trust me. Sitting in class, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't understand what's going on. Or you're studying so many subjects in one afternoon you get confused. Or the pressure to hit them high grades just to hold down that uni place. That's hard. Having the answer to the one question that at some point in your school life you will be asked, what do you want to be when you leave? To even have an inkling of an answer. Well, that's hard. But what's really hard, what is incredibly hard, what is university challenge hard, is when you know what you want, whatever that may be. But it seems everyone around you wants to tell you, you can't. No, you can't do that. People like you can't do that. I've never done that, so you can't do that, you can't. It's as delicate as an egg balanced on the slight curvature of a spoon and placed in a race on school sports day. A plant trying to lay roots in shallow soil subjected to wind. A thin plastic black and white 99p football that makes a ping when kicked and goes off in the wrong direction, floating in slow motion into a bush full of stinger nettles watched by a rabble of open-mouthed young boys. An adult robin leaving a nest full of chicks unattended for a split second under the swooping shadow of a magpie. All because someone says, white boys don't make rappers. Black boys don't make painters. Asian boys don't make footballers. Girls don't sit on boards of big business. State school kids don't make prime ministers. For every one can, there must be about 1,000 can'ts. That's like a 1 in 1,000 chance of making a can an actuality. It's like trying to sing your own tune in a packed stadium singing a football chant. But that one can is still a chance. And I would rather fail trying to succeed than giving in to the voices telling me that I can't. There's a fucking lot of them. And yes, it is hard. But it gets easier. Thank you.